and these are really quite important issues in terms of the health and well-being of the workforce. And I know, Secretary of State, you did respond to some questions on Thursday, transport questions in the House, and I'd like to ask you how confident you are that DVLA staff have been and are currently working in safe conditions. But can I just say as well, a comment, both you, Secretary of State, and indeed the Prime Minister, and I believe the Leader of the House on Thursday as well, advised members of the public to apply for DVLA services, driving licences and car taxes and other things, online. The implication being that online applications wouldn't necessarily be dealt with on site in Swansea. The information that we've been supplied with is it doesn't matter whether there's a paper application or an online application, they're all dealt with by staff on site in the Swansea office. So I wonder if you might look into that. And a staff member sadly died last week. I wonder if you might give us your views on the safe working environment there and what steps are being taken to improve the situation.
First of all, my condolences to the staff member who died. I know that that's a great loss to the family, and everyone at DVLA will be very, very sad about that death as well. So I just want to put that on record. Secondly, I know this has picked up a lot of news coverage, not least because of the Select Committee inquiring into it. I will absolutely look into your point about the extent to which even online applications require people to go in, and I suspect that in many cases you're right. I think it depends on the type of application, for example, if you're renewing something or not, because, and this is the point, a lot of the time people are sending in sensitive and confidential documents, for example, like passports, which do physically require somebody to handle them at the other end. And I think that's been one of the kind of issues. Biometric resident permit cards, another such item. And it gets into the complexity of why there have needed to be people on site or on sites, because, as you know, they actually took over at least another building in order to try to maintain even more social distancing. But you've got things which are essential that those individuals are doing in terms of updating the police national computer every night, databases which can't be accessed from home for very good GDPR reasons, and even welfare applications that wouldn't be handled if it weren't for people's biometric residence permit cards being returned, things like that. And the DVLA is also the place where, for example, printing takes place for letters that go out to people in order for them to get their coronavirus vaccines in Wales. So there are a lot of physical activities that can't be done from home. So really the question is, how do we make that as safe as possible? You know about the enhanced cleaning, the social distancing, the perspex screens, the leasing of additional buildings. I will do whatever it takes to instruct, frankly, DVLA to make sure they are doing everything. And I've read the evidence carefully from last week's committee as well, to make sure they're doing whatever Welsh Government and Public Health Wales say is required. And I believe their plans are also signed off by Swansea Council and have been signed off by Swansea Council. So I share your concern. I think we absolutely need to do everything we possibly can to minimise people there, but there are still 60,000 items a day which go to DVLA, which have to be physically opened. Otherwise, those essential services, many of them public services that I mentioned, wouldn't be able to operate.